Hello and welcome to another edition of the Leverage Podcast. I am Paul Richard, your host, and we are excited to have Ron Retherford with us today. Ron, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me here.
It's great to have you. And many people know you as Ronzo the Clown, and you're world famous for making all those animals out of balloons and keeping the children entertained. So we want to talk about that today. And let's start out. What's that?
I didn't say anything. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said something.
Oh.
So let's start out. Give us a little background. How did you get into clowning and get started in clowning?
Oh, well, when I was a kid, I was always interested in magic and stuff like that. And I forgot exactly when I got a magic kit. It was probably about 7 or so. And then I actually started performing magic when I was 13. And I lived in Springfield at the time. Then my parents moved down here when I was like 14 or so. And then I found a book. Actually, I found a book that same year I started performing magic on balloon animals and added that to my repertoire. So I was doing balloons and magic and did it part-time for many years. And then finally, about 30 some years ago, I started doing it full-time. I just got tired of working for a living and just wanted to just have fun. But I always loved watching magic shows and going to magic shows and buying magic tricks. We had 2 magic shops up in Springfield. We got one in Branson now. So, it just amazes me the stuff they can do with. It's like being a nerd, sci-fi and fantasy. I couldn't really do the stuff like Lord of the Rings. I couldn't do the stuff you see on TV. But magic gets me a little bit closer to that. So that was my thing.
Very good. Yeah, I think that isn't the magic shop off Veterans Boulevard in downtown.
Yeah, it's magic. It's Yak owns that shop. It's just right there. Just off the main drag where it's on Veterans Boulevard. But trying to think where it's next to. It was a candy shop and a few other places.
Just past the ice cream shop. Just past the ice cream shop.
Yeah, Mr. B's or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Very cool.
And he's been there for years.
So
and years too.
When you did, you took it on full time. In about 96, roughly, in 1996 or so?
Something like that. 95, 96, something like that. I guess I walked away from a job and said, that's it.
Very good.
Just started finding places to do. I went to Golden Corral and one of the timeshares they had waivers out there on the streets. And I was dressed as a clown waving, and then I just, just did my own thing. A lot of people didn't think you could do it, but
and then, right. Are there other clowns in Branson, or are you the only one that's out there on the streets?
There's a few ladies that will dress up in clown once in a while that do balloons and face painting. It just depends on the job and things like that. But a lot of people really went from clowning to just dressing up either nice clothes if they're in a fancy place or in a silly outfit, but not having a red nose, not being a clown, but just being a balloon twister or being a face painter. But there's a few of us left.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Now, who was your inspiration for creating Ronzo?
Well, partly I took that from, Bozo the Clown. He was a famous clown from WGN in Chicago. And a lot of clowns morph their name. Like if your name's Willie or William, you call yourself Silly Willie or Silly Billy or what have you. So I just took the Ron and then added the Zo and call it Ronzo. But it's people doing magic and stuff like that, and just people on TV like Mark Wilson and Blackstone Jr. Seeing those people on TV. That's and then some of the clowns, the European clowns that show. So I just slowly grew, slowly developed.
Very good. And so the landing, what year was the landing built, and when did you start performing on the landing?
2006, toward the end of the month. I was there day one, and I'd been there for about 20 years, but then here just recently they decided to get rid of all the street performers. But I was there through the good and the bad. I was there through the COVID. I was there for you know, just everything. I mean, as the landing got bigger and more popular, so it was a long haul there.
Very good. Were you doing magic on the landing as well, or just balloons?
Mainly balloons. If you do magic and balloons, and people are waiting in line to get a balloon animal, they don't want to wait for a magic trick to get over. They'll interrupt you, and so once in a while I would do something. People would ask, "Well, can you do magic?" And I'd do something, but it was mainly the balloons. I do a lot of magic and balloons at birthday
Oh,
parties,
very
so I,
good.
I had both of them to the birthday party.
Okay. So you're for hire for events as well as doing your street performing right now, right?
Oh yeah, I do anything and everything. I do schools, churches. I do grand openings. Special events, festivals. You just name it. If they want me, I'll do it, and I'll market myself. If I find something that's happening that I think it might be a good deal for me, and I don't have anything to do, I'll call them up and say, "Hey, would you like to have a balloon twister there?" And we'll either negotiate whether they pay me, or I just work for tips, or I can sell my balloons. Sometimes you have to have a vendor fee, so every job's different.
Sure, sure. Well, that's cool. And then, what age children do you generally find are target market for the balloons? Any particular age group?
Well, I tell people, like, when doing birthday parties, 3 and above, because you know the younger ones are afraid or don't understand what's going on. Although I do a lot of Hispanic birthday parties, and they'll have birthday parties for a year old, a kid. But generally, if they're 3 years old or above, they're into it. They want a balloon animal, or they're curious about me. And I've done kids at birthday parties that are 10, 11, 12 years old. They're just into that kind of stuff, the magic and the balloons.
Sure, sure. Well, I can see that if they have a special interest. And I think my first introduction to magic tricks was going to Disney World as a kid, and this was obviously when Disney World first opened its doors down there, and the magic shop was always intriguing to me. Of course, they had the gag gifts along with that part of it as well, party gags and that type of thing. So that was always fun to see. And then, so what's your favorite tricks you like to do at parties for the kids? Magic tricks.
I like the sucker tricks, and by sucker tricks, it's something where the kids know how the trick works. They think they know how the trick works, and you don't do exactly what they want, so they're shouting out, "Turn this around," or "Do this," or "Do that." And then, like one of them, for instance, is called the Hippie Hop Rabbits, and you have a black rabbit inside a box, just a card, wood cutout, and you have a black rabbit in one box, a white rabbit in one box, and then you turn the rabbits around, the boxes around, and the rabbits switch places. Well, the kids know what you're doing. You're turning the box around, and there's a rabbit that's black on one side, white on the other side. Well, you keep doing that, and you turn the rabbits around different ways, like not the way they say. You turn it, you rotate the rabbit, end over end instead of turning it around. And they're just yelling and screaming, "Turn the rabbits around!" And then I go, "Why?" And they tell me that the rabbits are one's one color and one's another color. Well, when I turn the rabbits around, on the white rabbit, it's red on one side, and on the black rabbit, it's green on the other side. So they thought they had it all figured out,
Ah,
and they thought, because like one rabbit's black on one side and white on the other, and one's white on one side and black on the other, and so those kind of tricks, they get them all riled up, and I like that kind of stuff.
very good. What other tricks do you do?
Oh, I do things. I get the kids involved. I want them to come up and help me out, and sometimes I have them do a trick where I can't get to do what it's supposed to do, and they do it. So that makes them feel like they've got one over on me, or maybe it's like I'm doing something that could possibly like get them all wet, or I want to stick a needle through their stomach, and then it realizes that it didn't happen, and they like the water disappeared, or like I'm not going to stick the balloon through their stomach, but I stick it through a balloon, and the balloon doesn't pop, things like that. So I have the kids help me all do all that kind of
Ah,
stuff, and
okay.
yeah, I got one trick where I use a bag
What when
where they
oh, go ahead.
I have balloons, like I use for twisting balloon animals in the bag. And I show all these balloons. I pull them out and show the bag empty and ask them what their favorite color is. When they reach in there, I said, pull out your favorite color. And when they do, it's always like, if it's a boy, it's going to be pink. They always pull out pink. And I go, you sure your favorite color is not pink? And then at the end of the trick, I open up the bag and pull out all the balloons, and they're all pink. And I go, well, how'd you do that? Why'd you do that to me? And so the kid, he's all confused too. Why they were all different colors and now they're all pink. Or things like that. So
That's cool. That's really cool. Tell me a little bit about the animal creation from the balloons. Have you ever been stumped, or do you when they make a request, or how do you do that? Like if they say make certain things, can you pretty much make anything they request?
At this point in time, I can make literally anything and everything within reason. Some people go, can you make a life-size Eiffel Tower? That's impossible. Or I don't do inappropriate balloons. Sometimes, you have, like at night at the landing, people leave the bars. They'll be kind of drunk and they'll ask for something inappropriate. But getting stumped, when I first started doing it, and I was going table to table in restaurants when I was healthier and could do that and run all across a restaurant back and forth. For some reason, the strangest animal they would ask for to try to stump me was a duck-billed platypus. And I couldn't make one. This is a long, long time ago. But I thought, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to do this. And once I figured out how to make that duck-billed platypus, I thought, well, I can make anything now. And so the next time someone in a restaurant goes, well, can you make a duck-billed platypus? I'd sit there and twist it up and go, nana, 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 And so, because they thought they stumped me, but like if I can see a picture, like if I haven't seen something, or like there's like Pokemon is really popular, and there's like 300 of those things. Well, I don't know what they all look like. So if they show me a picture, or I should see it on my phone, I can make it. My specialty is when I do birthday parties. Movies are themes for a birthday party. Spider-Man's coming out pretty soon, and The Mandalorian with Grogu. Those are going to be the big birthday party themes, and they're going to ask for those. And I make something big and special for the kid that's made out of that particular character. So, and that's
that's cool.
So yeah.
So
go ahead.
Interesting. I was just curious, when you're working, let's say on the landing, and it's really, really busy, how many animals maximum do you usually do per hour or something? How many can you make roughly?
Well, if it depends on what I'm doing, where I'm at. If it's a lot of people, I have to the balloon animals have to be made out of like 2-3 balloons. I don't make anything really, really fancy unless it really slows down. So if I do that, 2 or 3 balloons, I could probably make 30 balloons an hour or more. If I do 1 balloon animals, I could probably make 50 balloon animals an hour. If I'm doing a birthday party where you have only like 10, 15 kids and you're there for a couple hours, I'll make something that takes 5 minutes each. So I'm making just 12 balloon animals an hour. But I'm doing something special for all the kids at the birthday party.
Very good. Very good. And then as far as the events, how do they get a hold of you to book an event? Do you have a website? Do they call you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, I don't have a website. I'm on Facebook, so I have a business Facebook page, which is Ronzo the Clown. A lot of it in the very beginning, I had to market myself. So back in the old days when we just had newspapers, I'd call people up and get into certain things. But word of mouth is my biggest deal. I pass out a lot of business cards, and when people see me, then it just builds and grows and grows. And I've got events now that I do all year long that, okay, I'm going to be there next year. They ask me, okay, we're going to do it on this date, or we're going to let you know exactly as soon as we can what day it's going to be. But I get people that call, text, see my Facebook page, or heard about me and got my business page. But they emails. They say I get a lot of emails, and it just grows and grows and grows.
Is it seasonal, somewhat seasonal, or do you see more business just around the year? Is it the same?
Well, actually, Branson, when I started doing this full time, I thought, man, I got to be saving up my money for the winter time because it's going to be slow. And so, because Branson right now is only, it's the slowest months are January and February. But I found a lot of events in Springfield at the Expo Center and the fairgrounds. They do a lot of indoor events like the garage sales, the car shows, boat shows, and I would do those every weekend. So I was busy all through the winter. Branson, you've got March is spring break. All through March is spring break. Then it gets a little slow in April. Then May, kids are getting out of school. Then the summer is really super busy. Then it's a little slow, and then all of a sudden, it starts building up toward Christmas. And of course, Branson has become, years ago when I was a kid down here, a teenager, there was no Christmas except for the parade. And now Christmas is just as busy as the summertime. So if it's warm enough, I'm outside or,
Yeah,
or, or
yeah.
doing something. Plus, I do something else toward Christmas, because I've got this. Um, I'm just busy year round. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I've gotten slower now because I've gotten older, but and also losing the landing. That was my bread and butter. That was my big thing. Anytime I didn't have an event, I was there. So
I was gonna say, yeah, because I've seen you there many times. And is there any connection with Silver Dollar City that you do at all?
no, they have a balloon twister out there. There's a kid out there, Robert Morris, that does balloons. He has a contract with them, so I don't want to step on his toe. I try not. It's kind of a part of the thing with the business that you don't try to step on other people's toes. So if someone's got a gig, you don't try to horn in and take it away from them. I mean, there's some that do that, but I don't do that kind of thing. So that's his thing, and so yes, I think with Silver City being a business, they you don't actually work for yourself. You have to sell your balloons. They get part of the profit, and I never had that problem with the landing. Landing never asked for any money from me, so I like that part better. I don't want to share.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense. So, are you on the hunt for a new place to possibly settle in and be able to get street traffic?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something. I don't know. I've Tanger will not allow outdoor entertainment unless they have something special going on with Halloween or something like that. The Meadows, of course, they're trying to build themselves back. A lot of stores are closing out there, and they're trying to bring stuff in. So I don't know where a good place would be. I mean, the economy is really messed up, and then actually since COVID really messed a lot of things up for me. So trying to find a place because the landing went downhill after COVID. It kind of, the business just kind of tapered off, and still with the economy in a state of flux. Who knows what's going to happen. Um, I mean, I'm okay. I'm older, so it's basically right now. If I don't find a permanent place, I just got to think smart, market. Like I can find some festivals. I'm trying to get into the Sucker Days in Nixa. I think that's going to be a busy weekend here in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
That would make my day, or make my weekend, make my pay that time, So
Sure, sure. That's
but if
awesome.
someone knows of some place where I
And
could be at that wants me to be there, that's got a lot of traffic. I mean, it's a numbers game. I can't just sit there. I've had people say, "Well, I got this pumpkin patch in Halloween, and we have maybe 50 people show up in a day's time, and you can make balloon animals, and it's open from 9 a.m. to late at night." I said, "I can't be there just for 50 people. That's a I could do those in roughly a couple hours time, and then I'm sitting there not making any money and not being bored, and then I get mischievous, and then I get in trouble, and so uh, no, I it's got to have a lot of foot traffic, a lot of foot traffic.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And how far will you travel for doing your events? Have you got a limit as to where you go now?
If well, I mean, I'll go anywhere if they pay me. If I go further than 50 miles from my house for like a birthday party, then I add a little bit extra for mileage. If it's an event they want me to work for tips, I have to find out exactly what the business is going to be like that the foot traffic because I can't travel a couple 300 miles and be there and nothing's going on, or maybe it's the first year they've tried something, like if I can do some research, but usually I go to Springfield a lot and Harrison, Arkansas. Then I got a few events further down in Arkansas that are really, really good events, but um, usually it's pretty local, Springfield, Branson, Harrison, Arkansas, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, that's cool. And then have you changed uh, your magic tricks at all lately, or do you pretty much do the same ones? Have you got any new things you're doing?
Well, I'm always adding new things. When I'm doing birthday parties, there are some families, um, and that's changed a little bit because their kids have gotten older and they're not into that anymore. But I would do the same family year after year after year. Well, I'd have to change my magic show because if I do the same thing, eventually they're going to figure it out, or it's just going to be boring. We just did the same thing last year, so that's. But if I do something a place I've never been before, or a birthday party, then I can do my favorites and things like that. But sometimes I have to push my favorites away and find something new to do to entertain the kids. But I'm always looking for new stuff. Always find new stuff.
Variety.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Do you do the what's the one in Hollister? Is it the Grape Vine Festival or something like that? Do you do that one?
I used to do that one, but then and then they wanted a vendor fee. There was one time where they hired me a little bit, but there's a food truck rally up in Springfield that's the same time in September, and it's crazy busy there. I mean, it's just unbelievable how busy. So I do that one rather than do the Harvest Festival. I mean, I do things for Hollister a lot. I do their Easter egg hunt and their Halloween events, things like that. So and they have me come out there I'm scheduled every year for that. But
very good. Have you been in contact with Light the Way up in Ozark about their music festival?
I haven't heard of that one. Light Away. What
Light is Light the Way.
Light the Way. I'll have to write that.
Light the Way. Yeah. Yep.
So it's LIGHT.
Yeah, you might want to check with them. Yeah. Yeah. It's a Christian music festival that they have up there. And I don't know what the count is, but I would say probably 1,000 people there or something. And it's held on one of the farm properties up there, right off 65. So might be something worth looking into,
Okay, I can look into that. Just as long as if they can't pay me, if I'm allowed to either sell my balloons or work for tips. Some places, they want it to everything has to be free for everybody. And they say, well, can you come out and make balloon animals? And I said, well, I can't. I do a few charities a year. I have a few pet charities that I do absolutely free to help them out and they're local. I don't like these national charities where CEOs make six figures. Like there's one called Second Chances of Stone County that I like doing because they try to help kids that have autism and Down syndrome and stuff like that and learning disabilities. And I do a Breakfast with Santa that for the kids, things like that. But I don't want to do a big event and use a lot of balloons and just not get any good recognition or pay or whatever, So I'll check them out, if it's,
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've had a few churches call me up and want me to donate my time, and and so I go, I can't do this every weekend, I can't do it every day,
No, not when that's your core business. That should not be a freebie.
And schools are the
very
same
often.
way. They'll ask me the same thing, but
Yep. Well, so Ronzo the Clown, Ronzo, and you can look him up online on Facebook and get a hold of him. Book him for your next show, your next event, whatever you got going on. Great for the kids, and that magic show will be even a good addition for some other events. So yeah, let's look forward to that. Well, Ron, thanks for being on the podcast. It's awesome to have you. And so we'll keep looking for more opportunities for you as we go on.
Okay, I sure appreciate it. Yeah.